Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day, and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. It is just after 5 a.m. Friday morning. Got a little bit of rain in the forecast, but today is the day we're doing our pump-to-pump calculation, 170 or so miles up to Pocono from New Jersey. I do it with every truck that I have to see what the MPG number will be, especially with these new gen Toyota Tundra engines. Now, what I want you to do is immediately pause the video, go down in the comments, and let me know what number you think we will come out with at the end of this. We got a little bit of rain to deal with today, but other than that, no big deal. There's no wind. The temperature right now is just below 50 degrees, and it's going to get up into the mid-50s. So I reset the MPG clock in the truck to see what the truck says we have at the end of it. Throughout this drive, I'm going to be giving you updates like I normally do on how the truck feels on the highway, how these tow mirrors are as far as the other setups I've dealt with. Are there any blind spots, etc., that kind of thing. And we're also going to go into the 14-inch screen, into the infotainment, and see what it's saying about our trip. It'll show us some graphs on how our MPG is and how we're doing out there. And then at the end, we'll see what that actual number is when we get to the gas station. I believe it's 165 miles away. One thing different we're going to do today that we haven't done in other MPG tests is when we give that final number, you're also going to see numbers from other Tundras I've done on this route in the past, going all the way back to my 2017 Supercharged 5.7 Platinum. You will see how this truck right here stacks up against all of the other trucks that have done this exact route and had that pump-to-pump calculation. So hopefully the number does pretty well. When I was setting everything up yesterday for this video and I was finding all of those old numbers on those other trucks, there were some very respectable numbers there. So this truck is going to have to do pretty well when it comes to some of those new gen pump-to-pump numbers. So we shall see. I will update you every 50 or so miles. All right, 50-mile update. We are now on 287. The rain has picked up a little, but we are now going away from New York City. So I expect no traffic and smooth sailing. Overall, truck feels good. Definitely doesn't feel as smooth as the Capstone, which is the last truck we took on this route a few months ago. I was shocked by how good that Capstone drove on the 22-inch wheel and tire setup. And this doesn't drive bad at all. It just definitely feels a little bit rougher than that setup. On the same token, this truck, when you're behind the wheel of an iForce Max, there's just power readily available at all times. The truck never feels like it's in its own way. I got to tell you, every time I get behind the wheel of an iForce Max, I want an iForce Max. Definitely a powerful engine. Definitely a super smooth driving feeling with the 10-speed transmission and this engine setup. So high five to that. Doesn't matter if you're going uphill. Doesn't matter if you got to constantly come off the pedal and get back on the pedal. The transmission knows where it wants to be. A very linear feeling. Feels like it's pulling you down the road, throwing you back in your seat a little. It's definitely an amazing driving experience for sure. Now, when we talk about some stats on the truck, on what the truck is telling us for MPG right now, it is saying 17.5 so far. Again, we're just over 50 miles into the trip. And when we go into the center screen here, it is showing us how we're looking. So our best so far is, it looks like an average of about 20, if you really break it down, trying to do quick math for you there. But 59 miles per hour is our average speed. And we still got a very long way to go. But I just wanted to update you. So far, the truck is doing great. I wish the rain would stop. It keeps starting and stopping. So hopefully it goes away and the sun comes up soon. All right, the 100-mile update. We have gotten to the point now where there's not too much traffic at all out here. Very different from how we started. The rain has kind of settled. Truck is still driving great. So hopefully soon we will see some sunlight and go from there. Right now the computer is saying 18.2 MPG. So we shall see where this lands. We're just crossing into Pennsylvania right now. Nothing really to report. We threw some music on. Actually, there is one thing. There's your notice right there. Welcome to Pennsylvania as we cross over the border. There is one thing to note that I do want to say. The difference in driving in an SR5 and this truck has JBL sound system. And obviously I can't play any music for you because of copyright stuff with YouTube. But the JBL sound system, the difference between the audio system in the SR5 and JBL when you get up into limited and above, the biggest difference is the sound is thicker. There's a lot more bass. There's a subwoofer in this truck, and you could definitely tell the difference. So we always complained about the JBL in the last generation that it left a lot to be desired. I feel like they switched something up because the sound is a lot better in this truck. And the sound's not bad when you don't get the JBL sound system, but if we're comparing JBL of last generation to this generation JBL, this one definitely sounds a lot better. The drive continues. I'll see you around 150 miles. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see your face finally. The sun is up. The rain has pretty much come down to a drizzle, and there's not much traffic on the road now. We're about 150 miles in. The trip's around 164, if I remember correctly. The truck is showing 17.6 MPG, so I'm very curious to see what the pump-to-pump number turns out at the end of this thing, because we're almost there. So again, if you didn't go down in the comments below and put in what you think the MPG number will be, do that now. And don't forget, at the end of this video, we're going to compare this to the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 Tundras. I can't remember what I wrote down last night, but I really look forward to seeing what this iForce Max can do on the pump-to-pump. Again, we just did an iForce Max with Capstone, but this is a little bit different of a setup in the Pro. It's 1.5 inches wider. It's got a more aggressive tire on it. The Fox suspension, which, again, I want to stress this. I know I talked about this in my first drive video, but the Fox suspension is so good. And then the Fox suspension with this new frame and ground-up remodel, it's just meant to be. It's a match made in heaven. So we're having a nice ride, nice, comfortable ride. Seats are comfortable. I do miss the pano roof a little bit. Not enough to go spend the money, but I do like the fact that we could let a little light in the cab, and that's also great with the black headliner. If you think about it, every Tundra that comes with the black headliner comes with the pano standard. So if you ever feel like the interior is too dark, you could always just pop open that pano roof, and there you have it. You get a little light in the cab. But really do like the layout of this truck. I like the feel of the truck. And as a Toyota Tundra enthusiast, I like what the truck stands for. Just driving down the road since the sun's been up, I can look over at any car, and if it's a big rig, if it's anyone, they're looking at this truck because this is something a little bit different, you know, and that's what I like about it. Also, the tow mirrors. Let me tell you what, in New York City traffic, all the folks heading to work today, they did a great job. You could see absolutely everything behind you because these mirrors are so gigantic. So it played a big part, and it has the blind spot monitoring feature on it as well. This truck doesn't have a lot of blind spots. I will tell you, with the tow mirrors, it takes a little getting used to because there are some spots there that are a little tougher to see. But the more I drive this truck, which I've driven this truck a lot off camera as well. I've been going on like 40, 50 mile, just little local kind of trips. I don't even want to call them trips. Just every day I basically wake up, and instead of sitting there and having coffee, I'll take a little road trip with the truck just to get a feel for it and see if I could get used to these tow mirrors. But no, everything's good to go. I don't really have anything negative to say about the truck. It's comfortable. It looks good. It feels great. A lot of power with the iForce Max. Silky smooth, linear delivery of that power. 10-speed transmission is amazing. So a great trip, but it all comes down to what we will see next, which is that MPG number. Can it get up near where the regular iForce 2023 SR5 that I drive? Can it get close to that number? Because the iForce number is always a little bit higher. So we shall see. I will talk to you guys very shortly, and we will go over the results. Okay, just got back home from the TRD Pro MPG test. Now that was almost 6 hours in the car, sitting in that seat, and then coming home to make a video and sitting in a Tundra seat again. I'm tired of sitting in Tundra seats, I'll tell you that much. Overall, real quick, the truck did a great job as far as comfort. I didn't feel uncomfortable in the seat at all. Handling was great. Drivability is a lot of fun in the iForce Max. I strongly suggest you get out there and test it. And what's better than a TRD Pro? What's better than that kind of road presence in the special color? It's got the great grille on it. It's got an awesome suspension, great wheel and tire package. I like the TRD Pro. I like the look. And if you have $74,000 laying around, that might be the truck to get for yourself. All right, let's talk MPG. We're going to go over a few different trucks that have done this same exact pump to pump over the years, and this is the results of each truck, and then you can compare how that is to our 2024. So let's get started. The first truck, the 2017 Platinum. If you've been around the channel a long time, I had a 2017 Platinum that was supercharged, 5.7 liter, of course, and that got on this same loop 14.5 MPG. After that, we had the Army Green TRD Pro. That was the 5.7, naturally aspirated, no supercharger. That got 16.1. Then, if you remember, for a short period of time, we had a black with red interior 2022 TRD Pro. That, of course, has the iForce Max, very similar, if not the exact same setup as what we drove today. That got 18.98. Then we had the truck that I have now, the 2023 SR5 Double Cab TRD Off-Road. That's the regular iForce engine, 20.9. Then we drove the Capstone, which of course is an iForce Max. That was a few months ago. That got 19.7. And then today, the 2024 Terra TRD Pro, what did it do? It was 170.3 miles, and it took 9.838 gallons of fuel to fill back up. The average miles per hour for the trip was 63, and the truck achieved 17.3. Pretty close to the truck's computer, which thought it got 17.8. So that is not as high as I would like, and it's actually the lowest on the new Gen Tundra MPG number. If it makes you feel any better, on the way home, 166.8, almost 4 miles saved on my way home, and it did 20 MPG, but that was by the computer. So if you really think about it and how close the computer is to the actual pump to pump, we could say probably in the low 19s on that ride home. But what is your thoughts on that compared to some of the other Tundras, especially the other iForce Maxes and the other new gens? Of course, every time I drive, and it always makes me laugh, when I do any kind of pump to pump, whether it's locally, I don't film all of them. I always film that route because that's the one I use for all the trucks. So, just if I'm driving somewhere with the wife, sometimes I'll do a pump to pump on my double cab, and it always seems to get between 20 and 22 in the MPG range. It's very good on gas mileage, but the iForce Maxes are known to get a little bit less with the fuel mileage. But what's your thoughts on that MPG number? Once again, 17.3. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The iForce Max is a great engine and a fun engine to drive, and a super smooth, super linear 10-speed transmission with that, and it makes the drive a great time. How do you feel with those kind of impressions versus this kind of MPG number? Do MPGs matter to you, or are you more happy with a comfortable, nice ride with excellent drivability? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a long day. Time to go eat lunch. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Be safe and be well.